Thanks for tuning in to GTO Good Old Boys. Buckle up and enjoy the show with your host, Paul Ponder.
That's sweet, ain't it? Hey guys, I'm Paul Ponder. I'm the host of GTO Good Old Boys here at Waterfront, and we have a special guest here with us today, and I am tickled to death to have him. It's Mr. Chris Lane, one of the best friends that's ever been to me since I've got into really the fishing industry. Chris, welcome to Gunners for Tackle.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
Well, we got a lot of exciting news. First of all, we want to learn who Chris Lane is.
Man, I'm a professional bass fisherman and a family man, and just right now, just busy as heck with 4 kids. My wife is running all over the place with basketball, football, cheerleading, you name it, golf, and then of course, Cal, he's out there on the trail, just got married, so full speed ahead in the life of the Lane family right now.
So what it is, 1 down, 3 to go. And then it's you and Mama.
Well, I got, maybe go back to the motorhome days,
There we go.
Start traveling again.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'd like that.
That's sweet thoughts, ain't it?
Yeah, yep. I got my oldest daughter. She's in UAB. She's fixing to graduate this year from college, from nursing school. So that's really proud of her. And then, of course, Hannah, she'll be going into college next year. I think she's going to go to Auburn is where she's wanting to go. Okay. And then Coleman, of course, he's just a ball of terror.
Well, let me tell you, little Coleman, you're going to pay for your raising on him. I tell you, he tickles the crap out of me, buddy. There ain't nothing that surprises that boy.
Yeah, I'm so proud of all my kids. And my wife has just done an impeccable job. I mean, I can't say more. I'm on the road and she takes care of them. And, it's just something that, time goes by so fast and you look back and to see, the family grow up the way they've been growing up, it's just it's a whole family effort. It's been awesome.
Yeah. And a lot of people talk like, how life is negative. Life is what you make it. And like you've raised a wonderful family. I mean, you've got something to be really proud of. You and your wife are not divorced. Man, talk about that, the chance of divorce nowadays.
Yeah, one thing my grandpa told me is to never mention the word divorce right before I got married, and we've never really talked about it ever. And, I think, and my dad, he's always taught me, your morals are very important, but 3 things you want to keep intact, and that's God first, your family second, and your works third. And that's hard to do in the bass fishing world, especially when you depend on that for your income. Exactly.
And with what Chris has just said, I amen that to the hilt. And what we're going to do now to show you even more about Chris Lane is he has a Foodland tournament every year. I can't get into depth what he does through the Foodland tournament, and so I want him to just tell us what comes of that Foodland tournament.
Yeah, we just had our 10th annual Reeling in Futures Pro Kids event. We had the 10th or the 18th Kids event, but we tied it in with the Foodland tournament. Foodland, Mitchell Grocery Family, they're great people and run a bunch of stores around here, and they love giving back. They love giving back to the lake. That's where we started putting the fingerlings back into Lake Guntersville. We do it every single year. Bass Pro Shop gives 300 rod and reels to the first kids that show up.
Yes.
I know you give the crickets, the worms. GTO does a great job as well with being local here and supplying with everything that goes on in that event and all the people that help with it. Tony Satchery comes and cooks. It's just a great event to put kids in the outdoors, to get them fishing, and to take care of the resources that have been given so much to us, and to give back to them with putting fish back in the lake. Watching the kids put the fish in the lake, it's pretty cool.
I bet it is. They have really done something. I mean, seriously, have. It ain't like just turning the fish loose. It's providing for future families to enjoy what you're doing.
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing when you talk about the Futures family, and I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're fine.
18 years now. I'll never forget. I was up at the Dandridge Bass Pro Shops up there fishing I think it was an open event, and I had a kid come up to me, and he's like, Chris, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, hey, man, I attended your first kids event ever. And I'm like, holy smokes. And then there he was fishing as a co-angler. And then I had another gentleman that fished that came, and him and his dad came for the very first one. And he's actually good friends with my daughter down in UAB now, JC. And he came up and he says, me and my dad attended the first one, and he's a football player down there now. And just seeing how long it's gone and how it puts fish, for them to catch their first fish or to enjoy that moment of the outdoors. I mean, that's what it's about.
It is the outdoors. I mean, God has given us a place that never will go down. I mean, it's always going to be here. And for you to turn so many kids on to a rod and a reel and a worm on the end of it, and the fight that the fish puts up and the excitement of the fish coming in. And I mean, the mom and daddy, I think, gets more excited than the kids when it actually happens. And you get to see a lot of that, don't you?
Yeah, you see a lot of it, especially when kids get their very first fish or when that bobber goes under for the first time. We did it, when we were starting out. We had dads that were coming to the camp. Right. We had older kids, and then to see to where it's kind of, our niche was that 5 to 12, 13-year-old group of kids that have really never caught a fish, that don't have the means to go fishing, and be able to give them that so that they can go fish, a stream or a pond or somewhere around there. That's just what is gratifying to us.
That's right, and it's gratifying to everybody, and you do such a fantastic job. How many kids did you have this year?
Oh, I don't know. I know it just varies from year to year. I know when we had COVID, we had too many kids. And then before that, it was, you'd run into 200. I think we ran over probably 1,000 people through there this year.
Wow.
Kids from all ages just coming in and out. We turned it over to the MLFAA, the association that we started back with when the Bass Pro Tour started. And since we've turned it over into their hands, we still run it and host it. But I think the biggest thing is, being able to impact more as we go forward.
Yes. How does it feel to touch the hearts of 1,000 people one day?
I can't think about it during the day because you're running around so much. But just seeing the happiness, seeing the pictures of a kid fishing later, the next day or the next day out there on the shores of Lake Guntersville. It's just, that's what we're here to do.
Yeah. I mean, even 18 years later, that there, that ought to just give you chill bumps when somebody comes up to you, Chris, and 18 years ago, boy, them chill bumps just wipe them down.
Yeah. The problem is that just means I'm getting older.
No, you ain't. You getting wiser though. You see what I'm saying? You're getting older. You're getting wiser. You get to look back on things. So what we're doing now is you've got some big news coming up about a tournament. And the next two segments we're going to cover that. And it'll be not me talking because I don't know nothing about it. But guys, y'all need to listen to what's fixing to be said, because you'll probably hoop and holler, and your wife will too if you get set down there and win it. So let's just go to break right quick, and we'll come back and let Mr. Chris Lane introduce the new tournament situation. Thanks a lot.
We'll be back with more GTO Good Old Boys after this.
Hey guys, this is Eden down here at Eden's Energy and Protein. Just getting on here to let you know our summer hours. So we'll be open on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. We have ice cream, milkshakes, shaved ice, T-bombs, protein shakes, and a couple of other things, including frozen lemonade and banana splits. So just come by, check us out, and we'll be happy to serve you. Thank you.
Now back to more with GTO Good Old Boys.
Hey guys, we're here with Chris Lane, and he's got a big thing to talk about right here about bass fishing. I'm going to get him started on it, on letting him. I know it's not just him; it's a we effort, And when did we get started on this bass fishing information?
Yeah, I think we all got started on it. Kind of the idea of the association with Major League Fishing Anglers Association, to have unification of anglers. You know, you've got the NFL, you've got the Major League Baseball players, they all have players unions or players associations, things that they can do, things that they can put their charities in, things that they can give back to, and just collectively make sure that they're always together trying to move the sport forward. And, you know, I got to say, it was an honor to be able to help start the association that we had with the MLFAA, and being a part of that and learning a lot through it, and going through that, seeing the anglers jump aboard, seeing everybody kind of come together. Well, you know, I think it's time to really open it up to all the bass fishing anglers, in
not just the pros.
Not just the pros. This is going to go to bass fishing as a whole. It's going to go to BASS. It's going to go to Major League Fishing. It's going to go down to the college level. It's going to be a lot like the U.S. Open or the Masters of Golf, really, what you're doing. Okay. It's going to be it's the Anglers Tournament is what it is. This is just a huge opportunity for the anglers. And I know you're thinking, what is it, right? What is it? Well, there's two things that unify professional bass fishermen. Besides the camaraderie, the getting up early, the staying up late, all that good stuff, playing cards at night, that kind of has something to do with it. But really, it's competition and money.
Yes.
That's what we do. That's what bass fishermen do all across the country. It's going to be the largest payout, I believe, ever in the history of bass fishing. And it's going to be right here on Lake Guntersville at Goose Pond Colony.
Wow.
Yes, you're going to have, we'll go into all the details later on, but that's what it is. There's going to be a huge outdoor expo for all the sponsors to come, give discounts, bring their social media influencers. They're going to bring in a ton of social media influencers from all over the world that are into the outdoors, because that's the trend. You know, even though, you know, you look at social media and it's everywhere. So how do we grow the sport of bass fishing? How do we lift all these ships together? And it's going to happen by Unified Professionals. That's the name of it, moving things up. And Unified Professionals is a nonprofit organization that was formed here out of the state of Alabama.
You say here in Guntersville?
Nope, here in the state of Alabama.
In the state of Alabama.
Yeah, why Alabama? Why is Alabama there? Why is Alabama a big part of it? Well, Alabama bass fishing, professional bass fishing, started here in Alabama. It's where it all started with Ray Scott a long time ago. And to be able to lift all ships together with this, to be able to give the anglers a massive opportunity to fish for the money that they're going to fish for, it's just a huge bonus tournament for them. So it's a great thing. There's going to be a huge outdoor expo. It's just going to be good for everybody. The payout's going to be guaranteed. We'll go into details later. You know, the details will come out.
Right, exactly.
There's a whole nother team that works on all that stuff.
Okay. So it's still in the making.
Oh yeah,
as we're talking about it now.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, all the main stuff is there. The competition and the money, that's happening.
Okay.
All the other details about when, where, and how. But if you're a college angler, college tournaments will be qualified.
Okay.
BFLs, there's opportunities there. Opens, invitationals, NPFL, and TAA, and then one bass out of California. And there might be some others. Those are the details that aren't all put out yet, and you just got to make sure. But at the end of the day, we want to raise everybody up together. We want
Right.
we want the unification of bass fishing to start to come together, and for all the ships rise. We need more people fishing. You need more people buying boats. You need more
Right.
people coming into the stores buying stuff. And here's the kicker: it'll be a 5-fish limit, and there will be no forward-facing sonar in this event. So
Wow.
that's it's going to be called the Ultimate Angler World Championship for the anglers. And there's a lot more people involved in this than me. Like I said, we're just, the ideas and, things that are bounced off
Right.
of it have been off
Exactly.
through other anglers, other sponsors, the state representatives. I mean, you go down the whole list. It's going to be done. It's going to be done right. And, there again, it's not a new league. It's to lift everybody up.
Right. It amazes me, and it makes me feel good to live in the state of Alabama that they'll jump in and get behind something that's going to unify so many people just in bass fishing, because unification is far and few in between nowadays.
Oh, absolutely.
And not only in politics, it's in just everyday things.
Did I
if
mention $1 million in the top 10 payout? They'll pay
guys,
out.
did y'all just hear that? You've
They'll
got
be
a
over-
chance. I've got a chance to win $1 million.
Well, there'll be over $1 million in the top 10 in the payout.
Oh, so I got a chance to win a piece of $1 million.
A piece of about 1.4 or more.
Golly, and I'm nobody.
Yeah, but you got a shot.
You got that shot right. So all you have to do is, how do you qualify for them?
Well, those will be the qualifying events that are going to be coming out.
So they could be any of them, any BFL.
Well, those are the pieces that are still being put together that
okay.
we don't want to. I don't
Okay.
think they want to put out yet until they know it's exact.
Okay.
So they'll get that out, and of course, the leagues, may change a division or may change something down the road. So you can't really put something out that may
I got you.
change.
I
It's really
understand.
like the BCS of college football too. Before you had the AP poll, and they would just
Yes.
pick who's number one,
Right.
right? Who
Exactly.
is it? This is kind of the same way. You're just adding a bonus tournament for the anglers, and then it's bass versus MLF versus NPFL versus
Golly,
college.
Lord, this is going to be
So,
exciting.
Everybody's going to have a shot.
That's right. And you just, is there any dues you have to pay?
There'll be a $500 membership fee, and it lasts for an entire year.
That's not bad at all. People spend a lot more than that on just.
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
spend that on one tournament.
Oh yeah, yeah. So there again, looking to find out all the details. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see
$1.4 million. Dadgum.
Yeah, and maybe more. Maybe it's somewhere around there. Don't hold me to these numbers because,
No.
like I said, the details are coming out. But the outdoor expo, it's going to be cool, and I think it's really, really neat that this, like you were saying, that the state of Alabama, is behind this, because bass fishing all started here.
Yes, it did. And we ought to be proud of that. That's something that no other state can say.
That's right.
And look how big it is right now, and how many lives that bass fishing touches. Whether or not you're a tournament angler or what, if me and you go fishing, that's one fishing trip I'm not going to forget.
That's right. Speaking of Alabama, I forgot one thing that I heard the other day is that the Alabama Bass Trail team champions this year will go too.
Really?
Yep.
So it's champions of the ABT.
They get to go.
Wow.
And like I said, I don't know about all the other ones. They're putting all the final numbers on that, but I did hear that. And that was, hey, Alabama Bass Trail, why not?
Exactly. And it ain't how good you are, it's how lucky you are if you win. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to ask the question that I was fixing to ask, because I think that's going to get too far into the rules. So I don't know that the rules have been set in stone yet.
Yeah, I don't believe they have.
But they will be. Now, when can you register?
I believe registration, they were talking about July 1st, just because there's no tournaments going on there, and they can have a clear, decisive, you know, these are the tournaments that qualify you to get into the Ultimate Angler, and these are the tournaments, you know, in 2025. That's when the tournament is. It's October 5th through the 11th, October of 2025. So there'll be a whole list of tournaments that come out for 25 up to, you know, that tournament or when that deadline is, that all qualify. You're going to have roughly 180 to 200 boats in that tournament. I believe there will be. And I believe there's a co-angler package coming too. It's not really, they don't get to fish the tournament, but there's going to be an incentive for them to where they can be a part of it too. And if they're the highest finishing up member in their tournaments, then they'll be able to receive a check, you know, cash award, more than, you know, just a couple $100. It'll be a couple thousand, I believe.
Is this tournament going to be every year from this point forward?
That is the plan. They want to make it just like the Masters of Golf, like it is in Augusta.
And going to be on Lake Guntersville.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Guys, we ought to be so thankful for this right here. When we come back, we will get the final words from Mr. Chris Lane on all of this. And Chris, I'm excited, man.
Yes, sir.
That's great news for people out there, especially around Guntersville. So y'all please hang in and see what Chris has to say to end this out.
We'll be back with more GTO Good Old Boys after this.
Welcome to Waterfront Bay Cabin Rentals, located at 6989 Scottsboro Highway, right outside of Waterfront. You have a beautiful view of the wonderful Lake Guntersville. We have 2 rentals for you to choose from. You have our cabins, which is your bigger option. They have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, full living room, full dining room, and a full kitchen. Those come with 2 covered carports with power for boat hookup. Our second option is our cottages, which are like a little hotel room. They have 2 queen-size beds, 1 bathroom, and a little kitchenette that consists of a microwave, a coffee pot, and a mini fridge. These come with 1 covered carport for your boat hookup. Give us a call at 256-444-5017 with any questions and to see about availability. Thank you.
Now back to more with GTO Good Old Boys.
We'd love to welcome y'all back to the third segment here. Well, Chris Lane, you're telling me that this is not a league.
This is not a new league coming out at all. This is to lift up all the leagues, to lift up, to unify the world of bass fishing, the bass fishing anglers, and you do that with competition and money, and a huge outdoor expo. You know, the sponsors. I mean, let's face it. You look at them all; they're the ones that are out there fighting every day, putting money in, and helping these leagues. You know, be able to do the payouts, be able to put everything together. And you look at the leagues. You know, Bassmasters and the Bassmaster Classic, Major League Fishing, what they've done to the sport of bass fishing and how it's created a whole new conservation aspect side of things. And you just go through it, you know, and then you got the NPFL and you got the TAA. You have all these things that are coming out, these different leagues that are coming out, and they're all good for bass fishermen because they all give the opportunity for a guy to chase his dream if he's wanting to be a professional bass fisherman. So this is just kind of the BCS of college where it's lifting everybody up, hopefully putting more fishermen out on the water, putting people in boats, putting people in the stores to help buy and to help, you know, support the bass fishing industry.
Right.
And that's probably the coolest thing. I think the biggest thing, you know, you talk about it, and I heard that the conversations with a lot of sponsors was their first question was, this isn't like a new league. This isn't something new starting.
Right.
No, it's not. And they're all behind it. They're excited about it. Everybody's really, really looking forward to a good old event.
Good old event. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Just like the good old boys.
Yeah. So That's it. That's the big news, the tournament, and probably the largest cash payout that I know of in history of bass fishing, and just kind of bringing everybody together. The social media influencers, they're going to be from all over the country, all over the world, probably coming in, and we know what the power of social media does now.
Yes, exactly.
And we'll try to lift up the sport of bass fishing that way as well. But for me,
right,
man, I got James River I'm worried about. That's in about a week. And trying to make heavy hitters and red crest, because let's face it, if you can make the championships, you got an opportunity to make a lot of money.
There you go. And I wish you the best of luck there. And I hope that everything goes well for you, and I know it will. And whichever way it comes out, I know you're going to have a smile on your face.
Absolutely. At least when you see me next time.
That's
Maybe
right.
not on the way home, but hopefully we have one on the way home too.
Well, that's a good reason not to call Chris Lane on the way home, right?
Yeah. Well,
Won't get an answer.
Lot going on.
Well,
There's a lot going on. It's good. It's all good.
Competition is good.
Competition is good. Money is good. There again, you just got to keep going every day, focusing on how you can, be better, get better, and try to do the best you can.
I don't see how you hold it together.
I got a good wife.
There you go. It goes back to who rocks the cradle.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it. Hey, congratulations to Jordan Lee. I saw him on your podcast, right?
He's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that, or was going to be on there, and man, I thought that was pretty cool. That was neat to watch down there. Good old frog bite.
Yep. There you go.
The funny thing is,
What's that?
said, Jordan, I fished down here for 33 years, and I don't ever remember a tournament being won on a frog, and boy, thank God he didn't listen to me.
Well, I think he found that out and kept it pretty quiet, and it worked out for him, and I was so glad to see him win.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
It
and
was
then
sweet.
Van Dam catching that $100,000 big fish. I mean, to end his career. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So that right there is two major hitters, and sitting across from one right now. Tell us one thing I want to know is, how did it feel when they said that you had won the Classic? What went through your mind? You're on stage, and you really didn't know you'd won it, did you?
I did after Greg Vinson weighed in.
Really?
When he weighed in, I'm like, I needed, I think it was like 11 or something pounds, and I knew that I'd had that. I knew that I had over that.
Really?
So when he weighed in, that's when I'm like, I think I just won the Bassmaster Classic. And I was like, holy smokes. But then, of course, the whole event on stage, and it was then it became real. It wasn't real sitting in my boat, because I was the next one to weigh in.
Yes.
It just quite wasn't. I was just kind of like soaking that in for a second, because I'm like, I know I got 13 pounds, 15 pounds, something like that. But do I got 9? You start to play all these fishermen play games in their heads. But I mean, was pretty confident then that I had won the Bassmaster Classic, and then to make it official on stage was pretty wild.
Yeah. When did the tears come?
Probably when I knelt down on that trophy and pointed my finger to the heavens. That's when I couldn't hold it together.
That is something else, and you can just about tear up right now thinking about it, can't you? Because that was something big in your life.
Oh, yeah, it's monumental.
It changed you.
Yep.
I wish 100%. We had the dadgum trophy sitting here.
It's at my house.
Hey, I got to hold that something going above my head, and it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
Oh, yeah.
So, but Chris, thank you for sharing that with us. It's always great to have you around, and I want to wish you the best of luck next 2 weeks.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Go get them.
We'll do it.
And I'm gonna make Cal happy. Go Gators.
He's always happy.
Exactly. Smiley Jack's his name. So when you see him, call him Smiley Jack.
There you go.
So that's what he is around here. So guys, thank y'all for hanging with us, and I hope you really enjoyed it. And let's get excited about this. We're talking $1.4 million. Let's get it on.